fellow YouTubers. Back at you, Cool Cobras, with another video. YouTube can be a fickle game to get discovered in, but let me tell you something, YouTube. Even though YouTube can be rather fickle with some of the hypocrisies and what have you, if you're able to make a difference, then make a difference. Now, after learning some rather interesting facts about a certain person whose name I will not disclose, it's led me to make this gender relations video because now I've seen it on both sides. Holy shit. When you're in a romantic relationship with a fellow adult, ask yourself that question: what do they provide for you in the relationship? If you're the one putting in all the work to make the money and bring home the bacon, are they just leeching off of you? And the thing of it is, YouTube, the negative stereotype is that women can be gold diggers and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But truth be told, men are just as capable of using women for money. And women can use men for sex too. See, that's just it. When the gender-based stereotype is that women are just gold diggers and all men want is sex, nobody focuses on it when the other side does it too. Okay? If we were to improve gender relations, then we need to acknowledge that women and men can be equally as shitty towards each other. And because of certain privileges that women and men have, they get away with certain things. So on top of it, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Here we. Look at this smokeless tobacco. This stuff is gnarly, dude. Yes. Now, if your other half is not providing anything for the relationship other than you have someone to cuddle with and that's basically it, all they're doing is leeching off of you in your relationship, that's not healthy. And truth be told, YouTube, nobody deserves that. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Now, luckily, I have a lot of people who have my back. So if I'm not doing research, then my fans will look into it. And when my fans look into it, they tell me some things. Ooh-wee. I did an interview with Robbie on his channel, and it was very well done. It was very professional. And, well, when someone tells you that your Etsy business is illegal and you've been doing it for well over 2 years and you haven't been stopped doing it, your business just continues to grow, I tend to think if what I was selling on Etsy was, then Etsy themselves would have been like, you can't sell that product on here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, ask yourself that important question: what does your other half provide for you in the relationship? Now, a lot of people are underneath this impression that, well, Cobra, you haven't had a girlfriend in 3 years, who are you to give advice? Waiting for the right one sucks, but it's worth the wait, for one. And two, when women see that not all men are in a rush to get laid, I tell you what, it broadens their perspective. They start thinking, hey, you know what? Not all men are the same. Which, ladies, if you want to empower yourselves, make yourself feel sexy and confident, check out the female empowerment shirts. Link will be in the description box below. But the problem with our society is when we allow the genders to have privilege and then we throw double standards in with it, it creates this toxic, chaotic bullshit world where women and men battle of the sexes kind of crap. And of course, you see women who are always constantly competing with other women on who's the prettiest and most successful and blah blah blah. Then you see men competing over who's the toughest and who's more macho and blah 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 blah. It's stupid. Tell you what. Ew. That is some strong smokeless tobacco. God damn, dude. But yeah, I'm just kicking back, chilling out, enjoying the evening festivities. You know, and a lot of people, they try to fuck with me, and then they get a taste of my true fan base to some extent, and they're like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I literally just got done doing an interview with Robbie on his channel, so. Now, what ceases to amaze me is people think I'm stupid. They assume that just because I have Asperger's that I'm too stupid to see things. And there are times when, like any one of us, I get deceived. But I start putting two and two together, and I'm a lot smarter than people give me credit for. And the final thing couple of things I'm gonna say for this here video. One, if you're the one putting in the work, let's say hypothetically speaking, your girlfriend was a porn actor and you did cuck porn with her. If all you're doing is sitting on your ass, pretending like you enjoy it or whatever, and she's the one getting railed out, and you're just using her for her money, but then you lie to yourself and say, well, you were in a couple scenes, so I mean, that's what y'all are into, no judgment, but like at the same time, like, don't let people control you or manipulate you in relationships. I don't care who you are. And the sad, fucked up truth of it is women and men are both equally as manipulative. And that's the toxicity of a bad relationship, YouTube, is when people are stuck in that pattern, they feel trapped, they feel like they're not good enough for a real person. And when that fucking happens, they stay in that relationship because they're afraid to venture out, because they're afraid to get hurt again. And they're afraid to be alone, so they just stay in that same shitty relationship. And that's true for both genders, man. Got Discord turned on while I make the video. The fans are getting a sneak peek. So yeah, my trolls tried to stop me on the King Cobra JFS channel. Like I said, it's only temporarily shut down until like November. No big deal. I can just make videos on this other channel that I got going right now. Subscribe to the Josh Saunders channel. Appreciate it. I tell you what, when someone tells you that you're one business and they start talking a bunch of smack about it, and then someone else tells you some interesting facts about someone else. You start putting two and two together. You're like, yeah, hold on a second. So if you're in a toxic relationship, here are some signs. They may treat you right, but do they act like a douchebag? Do they annoy the piss out of you with the shit that they do? Is their perception of them not what you thought it was? And that's like on the far end of the spectrum. You start getting towards the middle of it, they treat you like shit. They use you as a side piece. They give you excuses and bullshit. They don't treat you right. They use you for your money. They start using you as a cheap meal ticket or a place to crash. It's pretty sad, dude. Now here's the thing of it. If you've had a couple of shitty experiences in the dating scene, don't completely lose faith in it. Just take your time with it. Believe me, the wait's gonna suck, especially when everyone is shoving it in your face. But you learn to ignore that shit and know that they're all gonna be eating shit when they see you with the girl of your dreams. That's just it. A lot of girls are gonna be scared off by the celebrity status because admittedly, there are some weirdos out there who watch my videos, but the payoff is pretty sweet, you know. My point being is that if I'm trying to get a girlfriend of my own, you know what I'm saying, in your 20s or what have you, anything I have, she has. So if I make $1,000 off of YouTube, I give her 500 of that because I can. I'm just saying, there are perks to being the girlfriend of a YouTube celebrity. They say love conquers all. That's the true tester of it is, you know. If I got a girlfriend of my own, I would definitely not force her to be on YouTube. If anything, that's her choice. But, I tell you what. To have someone treat you like you're stupid and assume all, you know what I'm saying? No. I take these 3 years that I've learned from being single, and honestly, people go, where do you get your advice? Listening to other people complain about the dating scene. And what I've seen is that women and men are basically complaining about the same thing. How the other side's shallow, how the other side's full of shit, and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know, YouTube, I'm sick of it. You always hear people bitch about how much dating sucks, but half the time they don't want to do anything to change it. They just want to be vindictive about it. Let's talk about indigenous language for a second. Now, if someone says you need to get laid, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, treating a want like it's a need, you know, I guess it depends on how the phrase is delivered. Me personally speaking, I think there's way too much pressure on men to get laid and way too much pressure on women to get married. And it's disgusting the way our society works like that. You're taking something that should be perfectly natural and you're forcing it. If the stereotype is that all men are rapists and they were putting all this pressure on men to have sex, well, think about it. Then on top of that, you never focus on it when it happens to us men. It's always stereotypically, you know. You want proof to this? Google the word sexism. You Google the word sexism, and the statement on Google, according to the dictionary, says typically against women. And that offends me. Typical SJW. No, I'm serious. That offends me. Sexism in general happens to both genders, and when it only happens to women, it's all anyone ever talks about. So it makes women look like the universal victim, and it makes men look like the universal asshole. And the shitty fucked up part of it is there are some men who use certain things, like to pretend to be a nice guy just to get pussy, and it's disgusting the way they do that shit. You know, and there are real nice guys out there who are worth the chance, but they never get that chance because of shitty circumstances. You know, if I gotta jack off to hot chicks on Chatterbait until I find the right one, I don't give a shit. It's a healthy outlet to relieve sexual frustration. And as far as I'm concerned, Chatterbait's a lot more tasteful than some of the raunchy shit that's out there. At least the women on Chatterbait are in control of what they do on their camera, and they're getting paid directly for it. Oh, I'm serious, ladies. What's more disrespectful? Some chick getting paid to get gang banged by 5 dudes? Or a chick on Chatterbait who's, you know, in charge of what she does on her camera? Just saying. Why the fuck would you watch a chick get gangbanged by 5 dudes? That's just disgusting, dude. I mean, if it was a lesbian orgy, you know what I'm saying? Like on the real note. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the disgusting porn that's out there, it's just, they advertise it, and you ask yourself, who the fuck watches this shit? You see the thumbnail of it, and you're just like, nope, blech. No, seriously, like, some chick getting gangbanged by 5 dudes, no, dude, that's gross. Lesbian orgy? Yeah, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck around. And then you get some asshole who says, well, if you do pornography, that's not real work. And I'm like, excuse me? Dude, I kind of feel sorry for people who do that as a profession. I mean, if it pays the bills and you're being smart and clean about it and everyone is doing it consensual and of age, then, yeah, you know. And it makes other adults happy watching it, then who cares, right? I know of age is automatically implied. I still like saying it because fuck rapists. so much cussing in this video. This thing's gonna get demonetized. I'm not even gonna bother monetizing it. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit you see in porn is not real sex. It's scripted to fulfill some sick fuck's fantasy. At some point, you know, at least half of the female actresses who do this for a living are looking at all these cocks about to jizz all over them thinking, what have I done with my life? And that moment where it's about to happen, and then they just get splooged on, all over their tits, all over their face, all over their pussy, all over their ass and back. They're covered in the shit, and it's just so degrading, dude. So fucking degrading. And they have to sit there and make it look like they're enjoying it when secretly they're disgusted by themselves for doing it. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care if you're male or female, you don't have to do porn to make money. If you choose to, that's your choice, but now if it were up to me, I'd say, you know what, they need to be more anal about their STD checks with their actors, all puns intended. See what I did there? I made it funny. And also, they need to show their actors and actresses more respect. You know? And if they're saying, hey, look, I'm not doing this, then it's just not going to happen. Find them something else to do. Tell you what. And when people are exposed to these mediums, a lot of skewery happens. You know, watching some hot chick on Chatterbait squeeze her titties, play with her pussy, and spank her ass, and cover herself in oil, that's tasteful. You know, the way I see it, it's pretty tasteful compared to what's really out there, you know. And yes, I will get judged for watching Chatterbait. That's just how it is. Women are going to look at me and go, oh, you're just a typical guy. But the fuck out of here, dude. If the gender roles were flipped, it'd be the same fucking story, dude. And no one gives women too much shit when women idolize or watch the opposite sex do their thing. You know, they don't get judged for it until they act upon those urges. Women get slut shamed for having sex, and it's bullshit. But men get demasculated for watching porn, whereas women get slut shamed for watching it. And it's like, it's stupid, dude. It's fucking stupid. I tell you what. Anyways, YouTube, thank you for watching this night video. I will catch you, cool